Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and I'm going to take this game with your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Shadow Warrior 3. Wang is back as the world is being ravaged by an enormous chaos dragon he unleashed in Shadow Warrior 2. Can he run and shoot his way to victory? Shadow Warrior 3 is an Xbox, PC, and PlayStation release that is currently available on PlayStation Plus. Off that service, its MSRP is at $50, and the game will last you around 5 to 8 hours. So what exactly is Shadow Warrior 3? Well, it's the latest in the Shadow Warrior reboot, a fast-paced, old-school-esque shooter similar to games like Doom Eternal. We once again are following Wang after he screwed up and failed to save the world from a giant blue dragon, and he must now team up with his nemesis Zilla to kill this big chunky beastie and his hordes of yokai minions that have overtaken the earth. Every Shadow Warrior game in this reboot seems to make a significant change from the previous one, with the first game being a more traditional boomer shooter with skill trees, the second a looter shooter with XP and missions, and this one a more linear shooting arena experience focusing on movement. Essentially, you'll go from area to area getting locked in combat arenas until you slay the hordes of many unique yokai baddies, and once you do, you'll continue onward to the next zone, usually via some platforming challenges where you'll then repeat the process. I'll be honest, this is not a particularly original game flow. The combat, however, is where the game certainly shines, with Wang equipped with high movement speed, a dash, a grapple hook, and the ability to wall run. Fast movement is crucial as the new enemies have a wide assortment of moves and require you mastering your handful of weapons in order to win. Upgrades are either found in the world or achieved by completing various weapon challenges. These allow for some light character customization as well as weapon upgrades along the way. Shooting enemies does heal you, and a perk you get early on will grant ammo if you hit them with a melee attack, meaning you have to get into the rhythm of keeping your resources up as you can't hold a ton of ammo. Again, similar to Doom Eternal. Additionally, killing enemies will fill an ultimate meter, which, should you have enough bars, you can use to instantly execute an enemy. Executing an enemy not only heals you fully, but also grants you their unique weapon, which range from a freeze grenade to a teleporting insta-kill sword, depending on how difficult the foe was. Learning when to use this is crucial. And that is basically it. Move through the linear maps, murdering everything along the way, gathering more and more crazy weapons as you move at the speed of sound, blasting everything in your path. So what do I like about Shadow Warrior 3? Well, the basic flow of shooting combat feels fantastic, with it very fast and with a great assortment of unique weapons. Additionally, the grappling, dashing, wall running, etc. leads to some great feeling movement overall, with you feeling well equipped to deal with most situations and dominate your enemies. And lastly, the game really has a fantastic flashy art style with some really odd enemies, great environments, and gorgeous surreal landscapes. The game really shines in HDR if you have that in your setup. When it comes to the bad, the progression system and particularly melee combat has been significantly stripped down from the previous game, so if you enjoyed those two for that, you will be disappointed here. Additionally, the platforming overall is fairly obnoxious and frustrating, and there's just too much of it. I know they couldn't just have combat arenas back to back, but still, you could have done a little more with it. And lastly, the game's basic flow is just go to an area, combat arena, next area, combat arena. It doesn't really spice the formula up much at all, except for the aforementioned not great platforming bits. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. Shadow Warrior 3 is definitely a maybe consider. It is a more stripped down experience than the previous installments, but it's still a lot of boomer shooty runny fun. Those looking for more depth, particularly in the loot or melee combat from the first games, will be disappointed, and the game's structure is fairly basic, but for a PS Plus game, or if you can grab it for under 20 bucks, you could absolutely still have a lot of fun with Wang. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Shadow Warrior 3, what do you think about it? Don't forget to check out our review of Shadow Warrior 2, also on the channel. But regardless, go out there and enjoy yourself some Shadow Warrior 3.